Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA. All of these videos get posted on this subreddit right here. Um, DF Sports right here. You can find my post. My username is Shook. I make updates with all of the news that comes out. People talk strategy here. You can ask me questions. I'll always respond to you. Stuff like that. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely check that out. If you ever need to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on Twitter at ToryLangley1992. Also, if you're interested in Discord, I'll have a link to that down below. And yeah, I'm going to make this video pretty short. I think my colitis is coming back. My abdomen is absolutely killing me, and I'm not starting to feel pretty good. So we're going to make this a quick video, but break-even day, because I didn't cash in main, but cashed in XFL. We've been absolutely printing XFL cash games. It's been I don't know what to say. It's been a print fest. More or less that's all I can say. Like Kirkland, only over half the field faded Kirkland in cash. I just don't understand it. He was a core play for me, and it just I don't understand how people faded Kirkland in cash. So break even day overall for today with XFL cashing, NBA not cashing. As you can see here, I bubbled. I was like, what, 8 points out of the cash? Nah, not bubbled. Like 12 points out of the cash, but only a few spots out. So 84. Yeah, don't have to scroll too much. But core for me was Trey Jones. He smashed Cole Anthony. This was a mistake. I should have just made quickly a core play, but I thought Brunson would play because it was only like I believe it was like a bruise. It was like a foot bruise. Thought he would play, so I didn't make quickly core. I had Bassey core, he smashed. I had Mo Wagner core, he smashed. And then obviously Cole and Trey Jones. So 3 out of 4 on the core. So we'll take that. Obviously, I rounded out my lineup with so. Here's the thing I'm really, really tilted about, and you guys have no idea right now. So I originally had, who did I have? I had, who the fuck did, I had Desmond Bain here for quickly. I had Tari Eason for Keldon Johnson. And then I had Tatum. The pivot I was trying to decide on, because I wanted to get quickly in my lineup. The pivot I was trying to decide on was Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis, Emmanuel Quickly, or Keldon Johnson, Jason Tatum, Emmanuel Quickly. Reason being I didn't go to the Porzingis one. First off, it's a back-to-back. Second off, it's one of the worst matchups in the league. And I'm really, really kicking myself for not doing that, because if I go Porzingis, Jaylen Brown, Emmanuel Quickly, I'm literally taking down this. I'm like top 5, literally top 5. So really, really kicking myself for not doing that pivot. But what can you do? Always got a slate tomorrow. Hopefully, have a good day tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna get through this quick. Feeling a bit under the weather. I get sick so fucking much. I don't understand it. I don't know what this colitis is doing, but my abdomen is fucking killing me again. But all right, let's go over the slate. So tough spot here. I don't know if Brogdon will be back. If he's in, it just downgrades guys like Smart, Derek White. Wouldn't really be going to any of them. If he's out, you can consider like Marcus Smart. Jaylen Brown gets a boost. I think he'd be fine. But overall, pretty unappealing team for me in a really tough spot. Like, you can go to these guys in GPPs. You can go to Tatum. You can go to Brown. Completely fine for GPPs. I will say, with no Robert Williams, Al Horford benefits an absolute ton with no Robert Williams. So I think Al Horford's a pretty solid play, even in a tough matchup. Was in a very tough matchup tonight. Still had a pretty good game. Obviously went into double overtime. But yeah, I think Al Horford's solid with no Robert Williams. And then Tatum, Brown, more GPP plays to me. On Cleveland, so we have Donovan Mitchell questionable. If he's in, once again, everyone's just GPP plays. Like Mitchell seems priced about right in a tough matchup. Garland seems a little bit overpriced for this matchup. The bigs, I definitely do have some interest in. So with no Robert Williams, Boston has actually been pretty bad against opposing bigs with no Robert Williams, with Al Horford at the 5. So I think Mobley, I think Jared Allen are both pretty good GPP plays. I don't think people are going to be playing them because of the matchup, but if you go back like a couple months ago when Robert Williams is out there, they were pretty bad against opposing bigs. So I think Mobley, I think Jared Allen are pretty sneaky with no Robert Williams. Karis LeVert, no. Rubio, no. But if Donnie's out, then things definitely change. Like Garland's going to look pretty good. Wish he was cheaper, but still would be solid. Still have interest in the bigs. Karis LeVert would probably move into the starting lineup. He would look like one of the best value plays on the slate. Would absolutely love him. You'll probably see more minutes for Ricky Rubio. Perfectly fine if you want to go there. Not someone I'm going to jam into my lineups, but would definitely be playable. And I don't think I'll be going to anyone else on Cleveland. Let's move on to Philly. So we have Tobias Harris questionable. We have PJ Tucker also questionable. Let's go over if everyone's in. If everyone's in, I like Embiid. I like Harden in a phenomenal matchup. My only concern here is chances of a blowout. Fast-paced game, you could see it both absolutely crush here. So I like Joel Embiid. I like Harden. I think I side with Embiid there. Tyrese Maxey, as long as he continues to stay in the starting lineup, is going to play huge minutes. I still think he's a pretty solid play at 5.5K. Harris, if he plays, is fine, but I prefer Maxey. Melton, just a dart, but I think is overpriced, and I probably wouldn't be going to anyone else. If Harris and Tucker are out, we'll have to monitor what they'll do with the starting lineup. I would assume Melton moves in the starting lineup. They could go Jalen McDaniels, like for one of Harris or Tucker. I really don't. I should know this because this is my team, but I really don't. They could start Niang. I really don't know. But I think if both are out, Melton, I think would have the highest chance to move in the starting lineup. He would be fine, but monitor starting lineup, stuff like that. Could be some value we could go to here, but like the three main Sixers quite a bit. On to the Pacers. So really tough spot here. Philly plays slow. They play very good defense. So Halliburton, more of just a GPP play, but always has that 50 plus fantasy point upside. Going to stuff the stat sheet too. So fine tournament dart throw. I'm not playing max price Miles Turner going up against Embiid. I'm not too interested in anyone else, to be honest. Like, I think Buddy Hield probably would be the guy I would go to if I was considering anyone on the Pacers, or Jordan Nwora, but there's just not much here. Like, if Nwora starts again, I definitely have interest, because he'll be very productive when he's out there and he's not afraid to shoot the ball. So if Nwora starts, like him for value, but there's just really not much on the Pacers. Like, I think Hallie's okay, I think Hield's okay, but probably favorite play would be Nwora if he starts. On to Portland. So phenomenal matchup. I believe Simons will continue to be out. So we're just going to assume he is out. So Dame looks amazing in a phenomenal matchup against the Pistons. I don't know if I lean him or Embiid. I'm really not sure, but I think both look good. So Dame looks great. I think Jeremy Grant in a really good spot also looks like a pretty solid play. Just the minutes right now are absolutely insane. So like the top two guys, Cam Reddish, going to see a usage bump and a minutes bump. He'll stay in the starting lineup assuming Simon's out. No issue if you want to go there. I think he's solid. Thibault will continue to start, playable, but I prefer Cam Reddish. Eubanks, Watford, they'll kind of split the center minutes. Watford been playing more of late, so I prefer him, but don't really love either. And Shaden Sharp, if Simons is out, will probably play around 20 minutes. Viable dart for large field GPPs. And Detroit, unfortunately, we have to like tomorrow. So Bojan out, Duran out, Stewart out. We have Wiseman. We have Hayes, both questionable. We have, I believe, Alec Burks is back. Is he out that day? Yeah, he was. We have Alec Burks back. If Hayes and Wiseman are in, Ivy's fine. Hayes is fine. But I think the real standout here, assuming he continues to start, is going to be Marvin Bagley at 5.5K. He also played in the blowout last game, so if he's going to be blowout proof and in the starting lineup, I think he looks like one of the better mid-range plays on the slate. I really like him if he continues to start. Diallo, probably going to get solid minutes off the bench. Alec Burks being in depth, I would think would hurt him, so a bit of a downgrade, but I think he's fine. Alec Burks himself, if Hayes is in, we'll see. I kind of want to see what people have him projected for minutes wise, because they have a lot of like shooting guards and guards. They have Hayes, they have Ivy, they have Diallo, they have Burks, they have Kojo. So we'll see there. But if Hayes and Wiseman are out, then there's even a lot more to like here than like Ivy probably starts at the point, but like him, Bagley would look amazing. Alec Burks, I think, would move into the starting lineup. Would really like him for value. Diallo, probably gonna have to play a ton. Would like him a lot. Um, I don't think I can go to Livers, but keep it on the starting lineup. Keep an eye on this Hayes Wiseman news. If Wiseman plays, I like him. Um, but keep an eye on this news. Also, Portland has gone smaller of late, so I don't know what they're going to do with the starting lineup. If we get like a rare situation and like Detroit does some fuck shit where they like start Eugene Amorie, signed a 10-day contract a few days ago. If they do like some fuck shit and like just start Eugene Amorie, he's actually a good point per minute guy. I don't think they would, but just thought I'd mention it. If they throw him in the starting lineup for some odd reason, he's a pretty good point per minute guy. So if you don't know who that is, and they start him, definitely would have some interest to Flatman, but I don't think they will. Atlanta, Miami. So really tough spot here. You guys know what I'm going to say. Trey Murray, GPP only plays. Clint Capella, don't like the matchup. Not playing enough minutes for me to go there. The wings, they all just look similar in Bay, Hunter, Bogdan. No real interest in any of those guys. I think I'd much rather play the Sacramento Wings if I were going to go to any wings. Kongwu, no. This team's just very, very boring. On to Miami. This team has to be the biggest fraud team I've ever seen in my entire life. But Butler, I think, is priced for his ceiling. Spot's much better. Okay option. Don't love it. I think Bam Adebayo, if I was going to any of the main guys on Miami, would be the guy I would go to. I think it's solid against Capella. Going to play huge minutes as well. Had a huge game last game against Atlanta as well. So I think Bam's solid. Harrow, fine. Does have a ceiling. Okay option. Gabe Vincent, he'll probably play around 30 minutes. Playable. But really not much in this game in general. And really not much in this game either. Like Siakam with Jakob Poeltl on this team is definitely taken a hit. So I think he's a bit overpriced. Not a good matchup either. I think if I was going to a main guy, it would be Fred VanVleet, who has shown the higher ceiling of late. Also, you guys know Nick Nurse. He's going to play the starters an absolute ton. So if nobody's going to be on Fred VanVleet tomorrow with how well he can play and his ceiling, I do like him quite a bit for GPPs. Scotty, no. Jakob Poeltl, I would think they would have to play him a ton of minutes going up against Jokic. Like if he stays out of foul trouble and plays it for 30 minutes, I like him. We'll see though. OG's been awful. Can't go there. Gary Trent coming off the bench. Had a big game last game, but this guy's the most frustrating roster behind Dylan Brooks. And I think that'll do it for Toronto. Let's move on to Denver. So even in a tough spot, Jokic is always going to be one of the best spend-ups on the slate. Just the floor ceiling combo is just absolutely massive with this guy. So I always like Jokic when he's on the slate. Once again, they got to stop disrespecting him with the price. They need to move his price up to that like Luka and Giannis tier. I don't know what they're doing. So Jokic looks good. Jamal Murray, 8K seems priced about right. Gordon, no. MPJ 5-4 seems like a pretty safe play to me. If he's going to be popular, though, that's definitely an easy fade. But he's been playing much better of late. I think he's like an okay to solid mid-range play. KCP, you guys know the drill with this guy. He'll play minutes, but has to hit his shots to reach value. If there's not a value opening up, I could see going there. I believe Jeff Green absolutely nuked. No, he didn't. I feel like there was a Green that nuked the other day. I guess it wasn't Jeff Green, but yeah. Jokic, MPJ, basically all I'm looking to. Also, Bruce Brown, I believe, nuked when we finally don't play him with everyone healthy, of course. But last game here, guys, Pelicans at Sacramento. So Zion out. We have Jonas Valanciunas questionable. We have Josh Richardson out. We have Nance out. Alvarado out. So I think Ingram, CJ both look good in a fast-paced game. Both teams don't play, or Sacramento doesn't play a ton of defense. So like Ingram, like CJ, give the edge to Ingram. Jonas Valanciunas, if he plays with no Nance, I like him quite a bit. I would think he'd have to play over 30 minutes with no Nance. Phenomenal point per minute guy. For 30 minutes, he's probably going to pay off this price tag. So if he plays and we get news he's not going to be on a limit, by the way, he's been out for like, I don't know, a week or two. I like him quite a bit. We know Josh Richardson will probably get Trey Murphy into the starting lineup. I think he looks like a pretty good value to me. Herb Jones is playable. And then if J-Vel's in, I probably wouldn't go to Najee Marshall or anyone else. I feel like with Jonas Valanciunas in, they are less inclined to go small. We'll see though. But if Jonas is out, then it's a boost to Ingram, it's a boost to CJ. Still like both of them. Hernangomez would start the 5. Here's the thing: they played the Warriors. Warriors are a small ball team. They played Portland. Portland is a small ball team. Portland goes small with Watford. Warriors go small with Draymond. I would think in this matchup against Sabonis, he would have to play over 20 minutes. So if Jonas Valanciunas is out, I'm going right back to Hernangomez. I still think he would look very good. Definitely a concern they go small, but I would think there's a better chance he would have to play more here up against Sabonis. Like I said, these two teams that he's been playing against with no Jonas Valanciunas were smaller teams. So in a bigger team in Sacramento, I would think he'd have to play more. And then Jackson Hayes will probably get the backup 5, would be playable. And then Trey Murphy, still like quite a bit. If you think they go smaller, like Najee Marshall, I think would be in play as well. If you think they go smaller and they do like play Najee Marshall a ton, like he's been playing the last few games, then I like him quite a bit for value. But I don't know. Once again, your guess is as good as mine what they do. I would think they would have to play Hernangomez a little bit more in this matchup. But yeah, keep an eye on Jonas Valanciunas news. Going to be one of the keys to this slate on Sacramento. So we have Fox questionable if he's in. I like Sabonis' ceiling. He's just been absolutely stuffing the stat sheet of late. Probably get you around 50 fantasy points, which is fine. A common misconception in the DFS community, which I don't understand, if you hear people saying Sabonis gets a boost with Fox out, they're lying to you. They're wrong. Sabonis does not get a boost with Fox out. He actually averages the exact same fantasy points per minute with Fox off the floor. So I hear people say it all the time. Sabonis does not get a boost with Fox off the floor. But I don't know what I was going to say. But I like Sabonis regardless if Fox is in or not. Fox at 9.5K seems priced appropriately, but has been very, very good of late. Wouldn't hate you for going there. The wings, it's the same thing. If Fox is in, one of them's going to get benched. One's going to have an amazing game. One's going to have a mediocre game. Let's just see if it happened last game. So you had Barnes with an okay game. You had Herder Nuke. Let's see what Keegan Murray did. Bust. It's like clockwork, dude. It's literally like clockwork. So if Fox is in, they're all just GPP dart throws. I wouldn't really go to anyone else, though. But if Fox is out, then I definitely have more interest in the wings. And Malik Monk, who I think would get a boost as well. And then Davion Mitchell, where is he? Will start, would be a playable value at 3.2K. So that'll wrap it up, guys. Hope you guys had a good night. And I am going to go lay down.